Angus the Superhero Ferret Adventures from Sunset Down Farm. Lucky's Rest. Welcome to Sunset Down Farm, where Angus the Superhero Ferret lives with his friends. Lucky's Rest. It was a cold morning at Sunset Down Farm. The barn was quiet, but down at the stables, activity was afoot. Angus padded out of the barn, his cape fluttering gently, and sniffed the crisp air. He said, whiskers twitching. Looks like today is a special day. Mishka the horse watched from her paddock as excitement was building in the yard. She knew something big was happening. And what was happening was big, very big. Through the morning mist came a tall, powerful figure, a big Shire horse with gentle eyes and a huge stride. He wore a worn leather head collar and old neck strap with a faded brass plate that read, Lucky. He walked with quiet pride, taking in his new surroundings. A soft clink sounded as his old head collar and neck strap were unbuckled and slipped away. No more parades, Lucky. Time to rest now. He lifted his head, free and proud. The others couldn't help but stare. Whoever this newcomer was, he seemed important. Angus smiled and thought, parades? He is a very important horse. As the animals gathered outside, they stared in awe at this huge horse. He used to do parades, don't you know? A royal horse, no less, Inky cawed. Angus nodded. Yes, this is our new retired cavalry horse from the king's stables. Inky squawked. Mishka won't be happy. Mishka just huffed. Humph. Royal or not, I hope he knows how to share a paddock. She tossed her head and scowled a little at the famous horse. Lucky was soon settled into the big field next to Mishka's paddock, where he looked relaxed and happy. They all gathered to peek through the gate, all except Mishka, who pretended she was far too busy rearranging her hay. Angus wandered up politely. Welcome to Sunset Down Farm, he said. I'm Angus. I handle, well, everything really. A pleasure, young sir. I'm Lucky, cavalry horse, now retired, with medals. Angus's eyes sparkled. Cavalry, you say? That sounds very grand. Lucky chuckled. My father, his father, and his father before that all served before me. I guess it's in my blood, he whickered softly. All the animals fawned over Lucky all day. "He's so impressive," Inky cawed. "He was a king's horse," boasted Gilbert the pig. Mishka wasn't happy. "That horse has the biggest field, the largest stable, and the biggest feed bucket." It was as if everyone had forgotten that she was the star horse of Sunset Down Farm. She pranced and danced and showed off what she could do. Lucky may have won medals, but she had won rosettes. On the fence nearby fluttered her favourite red rosette. She loved to look at it. She gave it a sideways glance, hoping Lucky might notice. But she spun a little too close to the fence. Clack! The post shuddered, and the rosette trembled free, tumbling into the brambles. Mishka neighed, "Oh no, my rosette!" as she watched it flutter onto the thorny bushes beyond her fence. "Angus," she whinnied, "I've lost my special rosette." She looked at the thorny branches now trapping her treasured prize. Angus saw Mishka's rosette stuck firmly to the prickly hedge and knew he wouldn't be able to reach it by himself. "We need help," said Angus. "But who could reach it?" asked Mishka. Angus looked across to Lucky. "I know someone who could reach it," he said calmly. "Lucky," called Angus, "I know you are here to rest, but could you help get Mishka's special rosette back, please?" Lucky lowered his head and whickered softly. "Of course. Climb up, Angus. We can do this together." Angus gulped but bravely climbed up Lucky's leg and onto his wide back. He had never been so high up before. Lucky lowered his neck across the brambles and Angus reached to grab the rosette. "I've got it. Oh wait, there's something else here," said Angus. He tugged gently and freed a second piece of fabric, a narrow strip of faded red ribbon tangled deep in the thorns. "There's something written on it," Angus said softly. In neat, worn stitching were the words "Sunset Troop." Lucky blinked with surprise. Lucky quietly said, "Sunset Troop? That was my grandfather's regiment. He retired here too. Seems I was meant to find this." "Thank you, Lucky. It's only a rosette, not a cavalry ribbon. I feel a bit silly now," Mishka said sheepishly. Lucky neighed happily. "Every field has its heroes, Mishka," and he nosed her rosette softly in admiration. Angus put Mishka's rosette onto the fence and tied the old Sunset Troop ribbon onto Lucky's mane. "Wear it with pride," Angus whispered. Mishka whinnied happily. You can share my paddock if you like, Lucky. I'm glad we got the ribbon back, said Angus. Not all heroes wear capes, squawked Inky, which is just as well because yours wouldn't fit him, she cackled. Angus laughed. Angus was tired after the excitement of Lucky's arrival and finding the lost ribbons, which were now back where they belonged. He yawned and knew it was time for bed. Good night from Sunset Down Farm. Good night, Angus. Good night, everyone.